Hello Negros Oriental.
Hello Sillimanians around the world.
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Vailoces-No.
And you're watching
Silliman.
For Silliman updates, Silliman University received a recognition from the Professional Regulation Commission for ranking first in the list of top schools for the November 2022 Nurse Licensure examination with a 100% passing rate. The university also produced 3 top-notchers who ranked 5th, 9th, and 10th on the said exam. Last year was the university's 7th consecutive year to garner a 100% passing rate in the NLE. Congratulations and more power to the Silliman University College of Nursing. Dr. Betty Cernol Macan, Silliman University President, joined the 2023 Department of Environment and Natural Resources Multi-Stakeholder Forum in Visayas as a panelist to discuss how the DENR can partner with the academe for environmental initiatives. Dr. Macan shared the university's own initiatives on environmental protection and conservation, such as its zero-waste approach to waste management, use of renewable energy, implementation of the Silliman University's environmental principles, policies, and guidelines, and support for academic and student-led programs, projects, and research related to the environment, sustainability, and biodiversity. Meanwhile, the academic scholarship for continuing college students is now open for applications. The deadline for applications is on February 28, 2023. You may apply online. Just visit the official Facebook page of Silliman University to get the link, which you can also see on screen. That would be all. See you next week for another set of #Silliman updates.
Good evening, everyone. This is a magazine program that talks about different aspects of Silliman University.
A program initiated to discuss matters concerning the campus by the sea. And you're watching #Silliman. Hi everyone! Today is already the start of the month of love, Ron. That is the month of February, and we just wish that you are filled with love. And speaking of love, there are a lot of kinds of love, Ron, like love for your studies, love for your work, love for your family, and of course, most importantly, love for ourselves. And part of showing that love for ourselves is doing our best with what we do. And talking about best, Ronelyn, our guest for tonight, perhaps the word best is an understatement.
True, Josh. And I think, I don't know if he lives with that pressure, but before that, I think you already have an idea who that is.
Yeah, so why don't you introduce our guest, Ron?
Okay, our first guest for tonight, we have the summa cum laude graduate from the College of Agriculture, and he also was ranked 2 during the Agriculturist Licensure examination. Please help me welcome Mr. Paolo Echavez.
Hi, Pa. Welcome to the program.
Hello, good evening, and thanks for having me.
Yes. Who else, Ron?
And we also have here with us tonight the coordinator for research and faculty member from the College of Agriculture, Assistant Professor Arsenio Bulfa Jr.
Good evening.
Professor Bulfa, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to have you back here.
Oh, thank you. So I'm expecting.
Well, we will truly get you more and more. And of course, Ron, we're also honored to be joined by the Dean of the College of Agriculture, Dr. Jose Edwin Cubelo. Dr. Cubelo, welcome to the program again, sir.
Okay, I'd like to say good evening to all our viewers. Okay, and as you mentioned, this is the month of February, so I hope that we're all filled with love.
Yes, I love the feeling of love and being
I-love
loved.
ba lahat dito?
Of course.
Of course.
Now, Dr. Cubelo, I'd like to begin our conversation with what you said in the previous interview that we had. I think that was last year. And I could not really forget, Ron, that Dr. Cubelo mentioned about, and I think he manifested so clearly that he have already seen someone that will not only excel during the graduation but could also top the board examination.
Yes.
And were you referring to Paolo at that time, Dr.
Yes,
Cubelo?
of course. Yeah. the College of Agriculture has had a rich history as far as stopping the board examination is concerned. No? In the past, we have already produced a total of 6 top-notchers. But
Wow.
we had this one student who I thought at a particular time was really exceptional.
Yeah.
And I'm not blowing somebody's horn, but I really mean it. And when we saw and met Pao on his first year, we really saw tremendous potential
Right.
in this very young student. So I think that we were not hoping, but we were really expecting
You
that
were
this...
almost certain.
Yes, almost certain about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
great, Ron.
Hearing that, Pao, from your dean from the College of Agriculture, I'd like to ask, did you feel any pressure, not
Yeah.
just right now, but during your, college days?
During the college days, there was not necessarily an external pressure, pero more of a commitment to making sure I made the most of my time with the opportunities given, not only by the College of Agriculture, but Silliman University in
Because,
general.
Pao, is it right that you also used to be the president
Yes.
of the student government?
Yes,
Diba?
and that was during 2020, 2021. Fun fact, the day I was elected the president is the same day that the World Health Organization announced COVID as a pandemic. So that was a crazy turn of events,
Wow.
but it was still a very enjoyable experience. Not COVID, the presidency. Pero with that, I really could say that the pressure is not really something that motivated my decisions and actions, but it was more of really just enjoying Silliman University itself.
That's good, Pao. At least there is really this seeing of the better side of the coin, as they say
Yes,
it, right?
Yeah.
Pao, one of the statement also, Professor Bulfa, when we had them in our show, we talked about misconceptions
Right.
about being part of the agriculture sector. In fact, particularly being a student at the College of Agriculture. And did you also experience like they were actually thinking that, when you go to the agriculture, it's only for those who are not that, let me say it, not that intelligent, or if not, these are for, you just get your hands dirty, etc. So being part of the College of Agriculture and seeing you right now excel and go really and destroying all of these borders, how does it feel, and can you share to us your experience as a student at the College of Agriculture?
Being a student at the College of Agriculture did not necessarily carry parang a stigma or something of like low or discriminatory
Or
image
stereotyping.
or stereotyped image with the people. Kasi, I really truly enjoyed the Silliman community, and thankfully enough, even being an outsider, I'm from Cebu. So
okay.
when I moved here to Dumaguete, just primarily for college studies, I felt a sense of welcome. And so therefore, all these stereotypes may have been experienced by other students in other universities, but in Dumaguete and in Silliman, I don't think that's really an issue.
Okay, that's
So,
good.
yeah.
That's good.
Okay. Assistant Professor Bulfa, I'd like to ask, what's the role of the faculty members and the College of Agriculture family? I suppose you're a family there, no? In preparing your students for the board exam.
All right. Actually, from the start, we have been conditioning them to really perform well in the board exam. So I think Paolo can still recall that I've been, pressuring him to do well. Because I can see that, the potential is there. So I need to nurture the gift.
Nurture the
Prepare.
gift.
Yes. So I think Paolo is really has the idea that, of course, the board exam is our board exam is one of the most difficult exams because the passing is low every year.
Yes, that's true.
So that's why we always remind our students to really study hard and perform well because we really need to maintain our standing as well. So I think preparing for the board exam is not new to them. Yeah, I hope. I think Paolo is preparing really from the beginning.
Yeah. So Dr. Cubelo, of course, during his batch, Paolo was not the only student also. So as a group, how do you make sure that you really attend to the needs of your students? Because as Professor Bulfa said here,
Yes.
that you did not only attend to them during their
Yes.
stay at the college, but even after as they prepare for the board.
Well, I am looking at it from the programmatic side. So as far as preparing our students, no, not only for the board exam, but for the kind of life that they may choose after graduation, we made sure, no, that our curriculum is really attuned, no, to the requirements of the accrediting bodies, for example, the PRC and SHED. So as part of our preparation, not only for the licensure examination, but for the kind of jobs, no, that they will be doing in the future, we made sure that our curriculum is really aligned with the standard requirements. We do not have favoritism in the College of Agriculture.
Yes, that's true.
We treat everyone the same, and of course there are students that are exceptionally well, no, like Paolo is definitely an exception. We also have students that who are really good performers, no, and as a matter of fact, we also produced a magna cum laude and I think 3 cum laudes, right? And of course, the others there are also other students that do not exert as much effort as they should, and I think that's the reason why they are not performing on the same level. So as far as preparation is concerned, no, we made sure that the program is tailored fit, no, as far as the different subject areas are concerned. But like months before the board exam, right, even after they have graduated, we also made sure that we will provide the kind of support that we felt that they needed. It was very informal. Now, for example, Professor Bulfa created a GC, just so we will be able to stay in touch with all those who plan to take the board examination. And then we made sure that whatever resources that we felt will be helpful to the students as they prepare for the exam, we made sure that it's available to everyone. In my office, I make sure that I collect all the materials that I feel are useful, and then I call everyone, okay, I have here some materials, please take a look at it, and if you feel you need it, get a copy. And then I have recording of lectures somewhere else. If you'd like to take a copy of that, you can access that. So I think that's how we made sure, that we provide the kind of assistance that we felt that they really needed.
Truly very personalized run for the needs of our students.
And it's really a collaborative effort among the students, the faculty, and of course the staff also from the College of Agriculture. Now, Pao, let's talk about when the results were released. Where were you, and what were you doing during that time?
How did you know that the results were out?
How did you react to it?
I was asleep when the results were released. PRC has a habit of releasing the results at unholy hours of the day. It was at 3 or 4 in the morning. Tapos everyone was asleep. And the thing is, we expected the results to be released on a working day. But they released it on a holiday, December 8th. So I slept so soundly, not expecting to hear any results
on that day.
But on days where I expected to hear the results, a few days before the releasing of the results, I was not able to sleep at all. And that is true. The agony of waiting for the results are just, it really mortifies any board taker. But when I released the results, the first thing that woke me up was my sister crying. She was like, "Pow, pow, pow, wake up!" And I was so confused.
And you were in Cebu.
I was in Cebu that time. I was so confused, like, what's going on? And she was like, top 2 ka, top 2 ka. I was like, wow, really? And I was still half asleep. I didn't know how to process the event. So I woke up, I went to my mom. My mom was also in tears, very proud of me. And we all checked the results of the PRC. I checked my phone. There were all notifications and messages from different kinds of people. Congratulations, congratulations. And I was like, wow, so this really is happening. I thought it was a dream, but no, I was really awake, and I was really blessed with perhaps one of the best ways to wake up in the morning after the board exam.
So, as far as the results of the board exam is concerned, Pao, are you over it? Nag-sink in naman? Are things sinking in? Or you're still in the cloud 9 as we speak right now?
I'll be honest, the series of events that happened ever since graduation, being awarded summa cum laude, getting the top 2 rank, all these have been events that are truly life-changing, I guess, or it sets a direction or perhaps future potential that not anyone else can relate with. So in terms of like looking forward to what to expect, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's coming. Am I going to be even in bigger areas or achieve bigger dreams? That thought has been in my mind for the longest time. And that being said, has it really sinked in how much of a big deal this is? I don't think so. And I will probably spend the rest of my life trying to understand the gravity of the role that I play, not just personally, but also to my friends, my family, and most importantly, in service of the people.
Right.
After all, that's my personal advocacy, to really help the farmers. So
True.
yeah.
I think, Ron, it's interesting to learn how did our dean and our faculty member here learned about the result, and how did you react to it, Dr. Cubelo?
Yeah, just like Pao, I think we also had sleepless nights. Yeah, because we know somehow when the results are to be expected.
Okay.
And of course, we always make sure that we are updated with events. So like every night, I would always check. Usually the results would come out like midnight, and so like that happened for 3 days. I think it was Arsen who actually informed me, of the results. So he texted me, Pao made it. Pao made it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Professor Bulfa? How did you react?
You know what? I was frustrated that time because I also waited for the results until 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Not around yet that time.
Yes.
So I was able to sleep, and in the morning, some of our alumni messaged me that, oh my God, we have top notch. I missed the show. So,
But did you cry? Were you also in tears?
Yes, I went out.
Oh.
Yeah, and oh my God, this is it. So I called Pao
Yeah.
first at I think 5:30 or 6 a.m. in the morning. I said, yes sir, I just learned that I'm top 2, so that's it. Then I sent a message to our dean that indeed we have a top 2. So yeah, we're very happy about the result. So I was there as well while I'm calling Paolo because I'm expecting really for him to top notch the board.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ron, we are just going to pause for a short break, but when we come back, Pao, your graduation ceremony was also kind of controversial because you got viral on Facebook, on Twitter, and a lot of people actually associated you and did some red tagging on you.
That's true.
Let's talk more about that when #Silliman returns. thank you for staying with us. This is hashtag Silliman, and we're still joined by our Agriculture Dean, Dr. Cubelo, Professor Bulfa here, and of course, Paolo. Paolo, before we took a short break, I asked you about how did you feel about being red tagged? Because when you actually marched, and I think both of us were there, Ron.
Yes, we did the announcement.
Yeah,
of
we did the reading of the graduates, and because I think you shouted something, and
Yes.
then after which it has blown up social media literally because
I think
the
also
comments.
Paolo posted something about it.
Yes.
Yes.
So Pao, can you talk about this experience?
Right. It was an experience that I hold very close to my heart because it's one of the first times where I tried to really go out of my comfort zone and perhaps advocate for something much bigger than a personal cause. No, I am for a fact very interested in the social sciences and also in policy development sector. Maybe later on we could talk about my plans to go into further studies and especially into rural development areas. No. But in my independent readings outside of academics and all my hobbies, I'm also into perhaps socio-political and socio-economic organizations, especially during the campaign, that really raised the political awareness of not just your ordinary citizens, but also students in the university.
Right.
As youth, we have a voice, and if we have that voice, I had the platform that time, I decided let's try to do a statement which I think can uplift the spirits of not just me, but also the rest of the youth who feel that they have a bigger or perhaps a better society to look forward to in the future. No? But going back to that experience and being red tagged, it definitely was scary for a while. After all, development work, especially with regards to local farmers, it really does not, it's not met with very peaceful intentions. Here in Negros Oriental, I am aware that there have been many cases of controversies, especially concerning land reform, landlessness, and all types of conflict that occurs concerning the farmers and private entities or even state forces. So the entire field, I would say that the entire field of development work in agriculture is very controversial. So I was not surprised when that happened.
Yeah.
It was a scary experience, but then again, apart from all these people who mislabeled, it is really an intentional mislabel meant to silence the message that we want to get across. Instead of all these, I also found many people who uplifted and supported me throughout the experience. My friends and my family definitely were the first people to really reassure me that we're very proud of you and what you achieved, and we support the message and the advocacy that you bring, which is to really uplift our local farmers. After all, I'm not the only victim, no? Mismo ang mga farmers in the fields, they also have been mislabeled, and this mislabeling leads to very, very bad events, and they deserve better. We also all deserve better.
And
Josh, listening to Paolo, it seems like this is a youth burning with passion. And I'd like to ask Professor Bulfa, how do you feel that you have here a student, now a graduate, who is really burning with passion and really passionate about not just his chosen profession, but also helping the farmers and fighting for a cause?
Yeah, I'm so proud of Pao because he has I think captured all the competence that we have we tried to impart to him, and apart from that, I think he's really beyond what we have shared and what we have imparted to him, and apart from that, I have been always proud since his level 1 until graduation until now, because when he's still level 1, he has already published a paper. First sem, his work in the first semester of his first year level, he's already published it, and up to now, my goodness, he's done a lot of works that would really empower our farmers and other workers apart from farmers. So I think Pao would really do great things in the future, and we're always there to support him, whatever he does.
Yeah. Okay, so much about this red tagging, Ron, because I'm also wearing red.
You like
Oh,
the red
we're
tag
wearing
also?
red.
Yeah.
Our backdrop
Yeah,
is
support.
But anyway, we are Sillimanians and we go for red.
Yeah.
We are, ano,
Burning with passion because
yes,
you're red,
of course.
no?
And kidding aside, let's go to Dr. Cubelo because we have mentioned about the low passing rate, no, at the national level
Yes.
for the Agriculturist Licensure examination. What could be the reason for this, sir? Is the exam truly that difficult, or
Okay.
what could be the factors behind this?
There are a lot of factors, right? If we take a look at our own performance, right? If as far as Paolo's batch is concerned, now he graduated, it was your batch, Paolo, 21, 22.
Yeah.
Okay, students who graduated on that particular year, we were able to get a 100%
100%.
rate.
Yeah.
But if we take into consideration all the students that took the board exam on the same year, because we had students who graduated like several years ago.
Okay.
So that brought down our passing rate to only 57. But even with 57, that's still higher than 90% of the schools,
Yes.
no? That had students that took the board examination. But I think Pao can really provide a real experience because he took the board exam.
Right.
Give us a snapshot of
Yeah,
the
sure.
board. Wow.
Right. So for the benefit of those who don't know, the agriculture board exam spans over 3 days.
3 days.
3 days, and each day is a whole day. So 3 consecutive whole days. There are 6 subjects that, just to generalize, 4 of those subjects are hard sciences, very technical, talking about scientific names or technical procedures in the agriculture field. 2 of those subjects are very more into the social sciences, so economics and agricultural extension, how to deal with how to uplift farmers, also community development and community organizing. So having to study all those different subjects takes a different kind of skill per subject. So if you want to study animal science, you have to focus on your memory, being able to remember certain facts with regards to certain commodities like swine, chicken. But when you're talking about agricultural extension, you need to have an analytical brain to
Yes.
be able to comprehend different situations, what is most appropriate for this farmer. So all those in mind, being an agriculture passer, you really have to know which areas of your brain
Yes.
to turn on, whether the analytical or the technical side, and being able to endure that same consistency across 3 days where you wake up at 5 in the morning to
And then
get to the venue.
what does the time that it ends?
It ends at 4 in the
4 in the
afternoon.
afternoon.
Yeah, at least if you finish early, you're able to pass your exam.
Okay.
But who wants to pass
Yes.
their exam
You have to
after just
maximize
an
the
hour?
time.
Exactly. You have 3 hours per test, and that really is an energy-demanding task.
Very draining.
Yes.
Pao, when we had in the show our students from the College of Nursing also fortunately topped the board.
Right.
We asked them, Ron, about the rituals.
No, and
Before.
they did it. They even mentioned that they wore,
Red
red
underwear.
underwear. They also did that.
Yeah. So, Pao, did you also wear a red underwear?
I was actually very I don't believe in superstitions kasi. So I'm like, you have to wear something red on
Yeah,
exam
yeah.
day. You don't have to do that. However, I didn't realize that the shoes I was wearing had a red streak on it. So I was such a hypocrite for being like, I don't believe in that, but I was wearing red. But other rituals, I didn't really have anything I practiced. I just maintained my cool, tried to keep the pressure off, but I really made sure I had enough rest and exercise. Those
Okay.
2 to me throughout the entire review period were key, I guess, into keeping me sane and keeping me able to endure the stress that is the board exam itself.
Now, so much about the preparations. Let's talk about your challenges. Did aside from I don't think so that really Paolo felt really pressured during that time, but somehow kahit konti meron naman.
Or if not, what
Okay.
were the challenges?
Yeah, what were the challenges that you encountered during that time?
Honestly, the biggest challenge was actually the pressure. I seem as if I don't carry a lot of pressure with me. And if you did talk to me during those review days, I was very cool with my family. Pao, are you excited for the board exam? Are you pressured? Okay, I'm fine. But truthfully speaking, especially right after graduation, bringing the distinction of graduating summa cum laude, it really does parang carry a certain pressure that since you've graduated with this distinction, you really have to parang top the board exam. Even if no one told me, it was parang an intrinsic fact that I had to deal with and cope with. That was really difficult to deal with for the first few months. However, being able to get the support and the belief from the different people around me. In fact, when people would chat me, they say like, Pao, how are you? Are you reviewing? I would always tell them, the first 2 months I was reviewing, I would tell them, I don't think I'm gonna top the board exam. I'm just looking to pass because I'm tired of hearing the expectations from different people. But lo and behold, I'm here, and I think it really was a testament of trusting in yourself, knowing your own strengths, and being able to transform all that pressure into a healthy set of motivation.
For someone as extraordinary as Pao Josh, I can't imagine that he also experiences self-doubt at some point.
Of course.
And that's true. It's really difficult for us to be lax when we think about meeting people's expectations.
Yes.
Dr. Cubelo, I'm curious because you said that you had a 57% rate this recent licensure examination. So when you hear that some students did not make it, how also do you find the way to approach them, at the same time give them the motivation that there's always a next time?
Yes. Prior to the boards, I think 2 days or 4 days before the board exam, right? We had some sort of what do you call that? We had a dedication and a devotion service, right?
Okay.
And I think I believe that that's really one of the most significant contribution, I think, that we have provided to all of them. And so we lifted them up in prayers, and we even sort of like claimed,
Yes.
And we asked, we sort of like pressure,
Yeah.
are there any special prayer requests? And then Paolo said, okay, that we're praying that at least one of us would figure in the top 3, because that's going to be like breaking records for the College of Agriculture, because like the highest top notcher that we've had was top 4.
Top 4.
Right? So, but how did we deal with those that did not make it? Well, honestly, we were surprised and we were a little bit disappointed when we found out that the students took the exam even without taking review classes. Right? So, I sent 2 of the faculty members to provide coaching on the last 2 days, right? Professor Arsen and Rahel Diaz. I sent them out to be with the students.
Grabbing effort,
2 days before the examination. They stayed in the hotel. They called all students to come, and if ever they had questions about, and then there were the students who did not really, prepare for the board exams, who came and said, we just wanted to try it and what it's like. And then I think Sir Arsen can share that. So it's a disappointing, It's disappointing for us because we're not only concerned about the individual performance, but we also have a reputation of the institution that we would like to keep. So, but setting that aside, of course, we have to reach out to them because eventually they will still retake the exam. So we try to provide them the kind of support. We tell them that it's okay, and if you intend to take the board exam in the future, please feel free to reach out to us. We have all these materials that are ready because these students did not, in a way, did not really ask for some sort of assistance. We have all these materials, we have this, and please feel free to, to just come to us and reach out to those that made it so that you can prepare better for the board exam. I think, Sir Arsen, would you like to share your experience?
Yeah, correct. So, when we went to Cebu to be with them, so we gathered them and we had lunch together. That's a day before the exam to give them some tips, and gather them again in the evening for additional tips. So I can observe that the other students, are
not that prepared.
Not that prepared. So of course, we have no choice but to give them the boost, the moral support. But I have doubts already. So but first day during the exam, we still went to the examination site, and we had a group photo to give them the support,
morale.
the morale that they needed, which I think was really necessary because I think Papa was anxious that time because I think he missed some of the subjects during the review, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Started late with this review.
Right.
Yeah, started late. Yeah,
Late
correct.
pa yun, Ron.
Oo, tapos Josh.
Correct.
Pa rin.
We are running out of time,
Sure,
Dr. Cubelo, Professor Bulfa, and Pao. But I want this to be one of the penultimate questions for this interview, and I cannot really. I cannot sleep tonight, or if I will not ask this, okay? Because I'm wearing the color of a sibuyas.
Very expensive.
And this is truly an agricultural concern.
Correct.
This is an issue in the agriculture sector. The onion price is rising. It's very expensive. And we have now news that there will be also an increase in the price of eggs and
Yes.
other related
Commodities.
products. And we have this shocking revelation that according to a Senate probe, more than 90%, or if not 90%, of our salt are imported. So something also agricultural in nature. Pao, how do you react to all of this? And hypothetically, President Marcos will call you, and Pao, you will be the next DA secretary and stepping down. What would be your policy? What do you think is the key to this kinds of, I know it's not going to be a one-strike solution,
Right.
but what do you think truly is the key for all of these issues?
It relates truly to my personal advocacy. No? My personal advocacy is ensuring food security. The basic definition of food security is just making sure that there's food locally available at all times, and sufficient for all the people in a certain population. A good metric for food security is the importation rates and self-sufficiency ratios. How much are we locally producing, and how much do we need to import to meet the demands of people? If granted that very prestigious and that responsibility that is really overlooking the national sector, it would really be a sense of supporting the local farmers, determining the percentage and how much they are able to contribute to our supply. You see, we keep on saying support local farmers, but do we really know their contribution to our national food supply? Just a small hectare farm of let's say 2 hectares. How many metric tons can they produce in a year? And how much percent is this to the national output? And furthermore, how many of our farms nationally are that small? And what is their disparity? Do they have enough support? Are they producing efficiently? It really is a topic, and I can answer that for hours.
Yes. So what you're trying to say, Pa, is there has to be an equation.
Yeah.
For instance, if how much is the ratio, and the kind of support that they need.
Yes. I truly believe that we cannot discredit. Of course, importation is a strategy to ensure food security. But supporting the local farmers, I think, has to be the most fundamental first step into ensuring a successful agricultural nation. If not for our local farmers, if not for the people within our country producing our own food, if they are not supported and if they are not able to do their best, then I think that leads to all these different issues that we are experiencing today.
So support local, support our local products, go to Valencia. And of course, Dr. Cubelo and Professor Bulfa, please promote our local products at the Silliman University College of Agriculture.
Okay, well, I think Silliman Farm, our best sellers are, of course, our fresh milk. We have a good supply of poultry products, dairy products, of course, rice. And Sir Arsen here is involved in the production of soil ameliorants. Perhaps he can say more about that.
Yeah, that's actually my project. I'm in charge with the conversion of all organic wastes from a 62-hectare campus to into profitable products. So please, if you have gardens at home, you can buy your organic fertilizers, your organic amendments from Silliman Farm.
And all they have to do is visit your Facebook page, right?
Yes, we have our Facebook page where our products are
What's the name
listed.
of your Facebook page?
Very easy. Silliman University Farm.
Yeah, the Silliman University Farm. Easy indeed.
Correct.
Thank you, Professor Bulfa and Dean Cubelo. Now, before we actually end this, I'd like to ask Paolo, what are your key takeaways of all the experiences that you had here in Silliman University and taking the board exam?
The biggest takeaway I have from all these experiences is that I was never alone. Even from the beginning of my college experience until the very last day, I was always surrounded by a very great group of people. Of course, my dean, my professor, and also he was also my thesis advisor back then. There was never an instance where I felt isolated and not supported by the people within the college. Not just within the college, but also by the Silliman community itself. The opportunities that I was given that made me the person I am today. And in fact, if you can compare me to my first #Silliman interview, way back 2019, I believe, I had a very different demeanor and profile. I was so nervous back then.
Let's watch that.
Let's watch this.
But now, here I am, a finished product of what could be if you take up a course in Silliman University.
Yes.
Confident, proud, and of course, being able to achieve things I never knew I was capable of.
Thank you, Pao. Before we let them go, also, Ron, maybe Dr. Cubelo and Professor Bulfa, you have some people to thank to or to thank for, or you would like to give
Okay.
shout-outs?
Well, let me just also share this. Yesterday, we honored our top 2 and all the pastors. We had a Thanksgiving fellowship just last night. And so we thank a lot of people who made it possible, a lot of contribution from the alumni. We'd also like to thank also all our active alumni. We have some small projects, and every time we would knock on their doors, they're always ready to share for as long as it would contribute to uplifting the College of Agriculture. So we are truly grateful to the kind of family that we have established in the College of Agriculture and our alumni. So we thank them the most. I think.
Professor Bulfa?
Yeah, I want to thank the parents of our students who truly believed our capability of, reshaping and honing the skills of their, sons and daughters.
Thank you very much, Professor Bulfa. So, we have now come to the segment of the show. It's called #WTP or Word to Ponder. Ron, before you start, allow me to give my word to ponder. I think the word to ponder now is really about support.
Support.
And what Paolo said actually struck, for me the most about not being alone because he had the support. And I think it takes also a lot of humility to be able to accept fully that support.
Yeah.
Because diba, sabi ng one of the famous scientists, I forgot sino, but sinabi niya that if I was able to see that far, it's because I was able to, get and step on the shoulders of the giants. So I think that's something that's very important to all of us, especially in Silliman. We have a lot of mentors that are ready, whose shoulders are ready, no? And it goes to show that we are truly proud that we have these people that can support, and at the same time we are proud that our students are really becoming person of competence, character, and faith. How about you, Ron?
My word to ponder, Josh, is just what do you call this one? It's just related to your word,
Yes.
which is support, and that is gratitude.
Gratitude.
No? It's because I can see here Paolo as a person who is really grateful to his or her his mentors. No, and it takes humility, like what you said, to be grateful to whoever gives us help or a reaching hand, and for those who give us motivation and support, especially for the times that we really need it the most. And if we continue to be grateful, we are also capable of also supporting. So I hope that Paolo, after you graduated from Silliman University, topped one of the top notchers of the board exam for CO, for the Agriculturist exam, you will not forget where you came from, and then you will also offer the same support towards your future students perhaps, or the farmers that you want to help. And thank you very much for sharing your passion with us tonight.
Yes, thank you very much, Ron. Of course, to our televiewers who continue to support us, thank you for joining us. To God be the glory. Hey there, Sillimanians! Daghang salamat for joining another episode of Silliman. Please support our Facebook page. It's called Silliman. We also have a YouTube channel. It's called Silliman. Don't forget to click the notification bell for you to be updated with our recent posts. Don't forget to comment, like, and share. See you there.
And also catch us at Channel 6 Field Products every Monday at 8 p.m. And replays will be shown every Tuesday before the noontime news and every Saturday after the noontime news. This has been Ronelyn with Vailoces-No
And Joshua Soldivillo. Kita Kids next week only here on
Hashtag